Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. So we're gonna continue Operation Below Ground Base, and today it is the elevator. Alright, so there's still a lot of lights just blinking around. I believe it's likely a visual glitch with all the lights because I think we have enough power. If we look at the batteries, we definitely have enough power. So it shouldn't be blinking because we don't have any power. It's blinking because it just wants to blink for the hell of it, which is fine because we probably have way too much blocks, way too many pistons, way too many drills, and it's kind of causing a bit of a lag and everything like that, which we did experience later today. And you'll see that in the time lapse. Well, my little cameraman there had a lot of problems with recording that time lapse because of the quote-unquote clang that happened when I was building this elevator. Alright, so let's talk about it so far. So jumping into this control seat, I will be able to bring this platform down. So I try to make it a flat steel blocks and everything like that, but it didn't work because it's surrounded by this block here, or this whole rectangular square shape. And it prevented it from going up and down, even though it should have been okay, but it didn't work out well. So we're gonna bring it down and see what we've got done so far. So with the elevator going down, it's a little bouncy. I created some of the rooms here, just the floor for now. I didn't create the walls and the ceiling, but it'll bring us down pretty far down to the very bottom. So then we can easily walk through these blast doors and into those sections, basically. Of course, we're going to have to add some points where we can stop in certain sections. And I'm likely going to do that with probably some merge blocks or something similar to that. Other than really fine-tuning it and trying to figure out where is the best like piston height and everything like that. So likely it's going to be merge blocks somehow to lock them in based on which floor we want to be on. But right now, it's a little bouncy. We got the elevator working pretty well towards the bottom, which is not too bad. But in the time lapse, you're gonna see what I did wrong, and you'll see a big explosion or some kind of clang and a lot of lag, to be honest. So initially on the very bottom, let me just bring this thing up and show you guys what's underneath for the elevator system. So the elevator system right now is being held by one piston or one grouping of pistons going vertically to bring it up. And that is, well, it's getting really dark here, but that is what's bringing up that whole huge platform. So instead of using just one column of pistons to bring it up, I decided to put 8. And that didn't work out well at all, as you can see down here with all the pistons, damages, and everything that's down here. And that was caused by clang when I did a shared inertia, because I thought maybe I could have fixed it with a shared inertia, where it wasn't letting me go up and down. So I was playing around with a lot of things, and then it just caused a big clang, a little bit explosion and some damage, and all these pistons kind of broke off. I deleted some, but right now it's being held up by one column. I think another column would be helpful, so I could put another one here and bring it up. 8 columns for whatever reason didn't work out. Maybe it's just something I did wrong, but I'm gonna have to rebuild that later on. So the idea for the heights, we probably want to put some kind of merge block, like say right here. We'll put a merge block here. Whatever that is. So we could put like a merge block right here, and then on the elevator itself, so that it can lock onto these things as we go down to each level. So it causes less issues and less having to really fine-tune exactly how we're gonna bring the height up and down of the pistons, basically. So the piston itself going down, straight down, I had to mess around with the height itself in terms of the minimal height, which is going to be right between here and the elevator. So it was like a 0.25 difference on the very top piston. So that wasn't too bad, but it's gonna be rough doing it for each floor. So I'm definitely gonna have to find a way to do it with some merge blocks, which is probably the most simplified way of doing it. And the elevator system is working okay. It's not ideal. It's a little bouncy. As you see, it just bounces around, smacks things around, and I really had to play with. And this is something I don't normally play with. And that is going to be, it's going to be this max impulse axis and non-axis axes or axis, whatever you want to call it. And I had to increase it just a tiny bit just to get it up and down to make it work properly. Not too sure how this works, so feel free to leave a comment and explain how these things really work. But I was just playing around with it, and it kind of helped. I know reading the description and everything like that, but when I played around with this, I increased it by 150 kns or whatever that means. It kind of made it able to go up and down even with the blast doors or without the blast doors, because I think it's just way too heavy, to be honest. And I don't know why 8 piston columns didn't work out too well. I think something I did wrong, but I guess the more parts you have, the more issues you're gonna run into. But so far, this isn't too bad. It goes a little too fast, and it pretty much makes everything covered and darkened as much as possible. So other than that, what I did do is try my best to airtight everything. So I try to build steel blocks around here, so it makes a whole big cube. But of course I destroyed it with all these pistons. So let me go in the spectator mode to show you guys what that looks like. I didn't finish it up, but you'll see here it is completely filled in on the very bottom, except for the damages and a little bit of blocks that are messed up, just so it can make it airtight. So because the elevator, when it gets close to here, it's not going to be airtight. So I built as much blocks on the bottom to make it airtight, so that way eventually when I pull up all the walls, the ceilings, this whole underground base will be airtight. Of course the top is not airtight now, but once I create my hatch door, which will probably include merge blocks, maybe a hinge system or rotor system to make it a hatch door, like up and down closing. I was kind of thinking of making a rotor system where it slides off in an angle, but we'll see how that goes eventually. But yeah, so this took a while because I had to dig out the hole for the elevator. It took about, I think, 15 pistons to go down, and then I had to build the pistons going up. So this took a bit of time, but overall it was fun to do, and hopefully we can kind of fine-tune the elevator later with maybe a double piston column instead of just singular, because I think singular is gonna break sooner or later, but we'll see what happens. Of course, what I started didn't work out, but you'll see all that action in the time lapse. We're gonna cue it, so sit back and relax. Alright, thank you guys very much for supporting this channel, Pandemic Playground. It's been a blast making all these videos. I'm sure Don's making his videos too, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And we're going to continue to do so, and hopefully you guys will continue to watch. So of course, hit that thumbs up, like that video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and of course leave us some comments. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.